With me in the studio this afternoon, I'm joined by Ian McDonough from Blackbird. Ian, good to meet you. Good afternoon.
You too, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a bit more about Blackbird, Ian, if you would, and your software.
So Blackbird is a piece of software that allows our customers to create video very rapidly to a high professional standard in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Our customers are generally B2B customers, so they're in the sports area, in the post area, and the news area primarily, but also large production companies and anywhere.
So news and sport, that's the two big focuses for you, is it?
Sport and news are our main focus because we add a lot of USP to content that is highly valuable but very time sensitive.
Right.
So everyone wants sport content out there very quickly to please the fans, beat the competition, beat the pirates. So it's very important to turn clips around very quickly. And news is the same. You know, after 24 hours, news content is a lot less valuable. And so the quicker you can get speed to market is hugely important.
Well, just so people can picture exactly what it is that we're talking about, can you give us an application?
Sure. So, for instance, we work with the NRL in Australia. It's a recent customer of ours. It's the National Rugby League. And when a try is scored in, let's say, Sydney, 5 or 6 seconds later, that piece of content will be in the cloud. And that can be accessed from anywhere by a professional editor to turn it around and put it onto either social media or onto their own video on demand sites or even onto broadcast.
Right.
So they're an innovative client, the NRL, and they want to make sure they get the content to Twitter in less than a minute, and Blackbird is the solution to that.
So speed's one of the big selling points here, is it? Because editing and distributing video obviously is not new.
Yeah.
But what makes Blackbird unique?
Well, we're the fastest in the world. I mean, we're the fastest than anybody else to do this. We think of our software as being something that is very flexible, as you can edit it from a 2 megabit bandwidth on any piece of hardware, and just in a browser. It's also very professional. We grew up in the post industry in London and worked a lot with Avid editors and Premiere editors. They're highly sophisticated and they need professional tool sets. So we have a very professional tool set. It's also very fast. So that's the other thing. So it's professional, flexible, and fast. And I think where we are in our space, we're the only one that can really say that.
Well, you mentioned the NRL a moment ago. Who are some of your other clients?
So we have a number of customers now in the US. We work with MSG Networks, which is Madison Square Garden. Every piece of content that is created in Madison Square Garden is edited on Blackbird and then published out to social or to their digital outlets by us very, very quickly. So all the New York Knicks games, all the New York Rangers games, all the boxing that happens there is all cut out and edited on Blackbird. We also work with a company called Peloton. Peloton are a very innovative company. They're a $4 billion market cap company who've Amazonized the gym. They've taken the gym into your own home. But to do that, of course, you need to have a bike, a piece of hardware in the room, and a video to connect you to a spin class or to a treadmill class. And every piece of content that's on that video screen is edited on Blackbird.
What about UK clients?
So in UK we have quite a number of customers here. In fact, we grew up in the UK and we're very much a UK-based company. We grew up in the post industry here. So most of the post houses in Soho and in London will have a Blackbird instance, and they will use that as a very fast, efficient pre-tool before it goes to an Avid system generally. So we do, for instance, all Gogglebox. All Gogglebox is created on Blackbird before it's finished on Avid. And work for Discovery. We do Gold Rush is created on Blackbird. There's a team out in Alaska creating the content for Gold Rush, and they need to get that content back quickly but efficiently. They can't have whole teams of editors out in Alaska, so they bring it back to London and work on it here.
And you've just announced this significant multi-year deal with A&E Networks?
That's right. A&E Networks, they're a Disney-owned company. Disney and Hearst own A&E Networks. They're New York based, but they have a number of centers around the world. And they have two in New York. They have another one in Connecticut. They need to connect these centers up, and people have to access video from the different centers. To do that now is a very slow and expensive process. But now they've bought into Blackbird. They have a layer across all their Avid suites that all editors, producers, social media publishers, marketers, you name it, across all their brands can access how much content they wanted to put into Blackbird right away, instantaneously. They can edit or annotate or review and approve. They have a show called Live PD, which is currently one of the biggest, hottest properties on TV in America.
Right.
They shoot it overnight with police teams in New York, and then they need to get it into a taxi in the morning, edit it on the fly, and get it to air. And we can massively improve that process by allowing them to use Blackbird for it.
What's this deal worth to you, have you said?
We said it's a significant 6-figure deal. It is, yeah. So, and it's over 3 years, a 3-year deal. It's phase one for us. I mean, they're going to use it over 2 sites now, but they've got sites in London, they've got sites in Singapore, Miami. So we hope to extend it and expect to extend it.
So typically, how does it work for your software? Is it an annual subscription?
Generally, we can do event-based subscription, or we can do it as an annual or multi-year subscription.
Right.
So yeah, A&E is multi-year. Most deals I'm doing now are annual at least, if not multi-year.
And it's a license that you're paying for, is it?
Yeah, it's a SaaS model, so software as a service. So we will license you the edge, we call it, which is how you make Blackbird in the first place, make this incredible codec software. And then you have a number of users around it, and you'll pay effectively for users to access it. They'll just need any piece of hardware, so they can access it through a browser, and they have the tool sets there, and then they can work with the content.
Right. So typically, how much is a license?
It starts around early 5 figures, but the enterprise deals we're doing now are in the 6 figures, and yeah, we'll see where that goes from there.
And what about sort of the longer term plans here for the company? Where do you see it heading?
So we're focusing on news and sport primarily at the moment, but we have exciting plans to move our models from B2B to B2B2C. So customers that have a lot of consumers on a digital platform could use our player technology within that platform to give their consumers more functionality. So you can easily move around a video, which we all know how challenging that can be sometimes. It can allow them to clip and share that content around. But then people say, well, if you can clip and share content around and allowing consumers to do that, isn't it going to be only going to lose control over it? It also allows the rights holder to have full control over the content. So when it can be geo-blocked, or it can be at the end of a rights package, you can just delete the piece of content in one place, and all the links around the world, millions or billions of links, will disappear. So it's very safe, very secure for rights owners as well.
I suppose one of the attractions of your business model is once the software itself has been developed, it's a fairly fixed cost base that you're looking at.
That's right. I mean, one of the reasons why we decided on B2B2C is we don't want to have teams of salespeople and huge amounts of marketing budget. Our cost base will be fairly fixed. We've got an excellent team now. We've built the software. We've got the strategy right. We've got the branding right. We've got the funding right, which we did a raise last year. So we feel in a really strong position to really commercialize the amazing piece of technology that we've built. Yeah. Well,
the company itself, it's been around for some time. Why do you feel now is the right time to take advantage of the opportunity and for the software to take off, if you like?
I think there's a number of reasons for that. I think that where we grew up in the post business it's exciting, but it's quite limited in terms of how quickly you can grow. And we weren't finishing in that business. We were only really the prep tool for Avid. Where we've gone into now, sport is huge. Pretty much every sports entity in the world could potentially use Blackbird, whether it's franchises or federations or broadcasters. And we do pretty much every step of the media workflow. So content comes into Blackbird, it can be edited, annotated, and published from Blackbird. So we don't need another finishing tool like Avid to work with. So we take a lot more of the value chain in that area. And I think the other reason is that really people are getting used to the cloud now. People are accepting the cloud, trusting the security of the cloud, and that they have to look at their cost bases, look at how quickly they need to get to market, and they're moving towards it.
And what about risks from competition? Your IP that protects what around the technology, the software?
So the codec is the magic part of it, which is fully protected and patented.
Right.
And we did the raise partly to make sure that we can keep up with that. Our team of developers are moving it forward all the time, and we want to make sure that the patents follow that as well. So yes, the competition doesn't have what we have. I mean, the magic bit of it really is that codec. But on the front piece, we've done things in a browser, in a normal web browser, that shouldn't really be feasible or possible. Everything's been created in a language called JavaScript, and it allows it to be utilised through that. So we feel we're well ahead of the competition. Yeah.
Very interesting. Ian, good to meet you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Andrew. It's a pleasure.